Very good morning. This is Jyoti in my Department of Biology. So today we are here to know about some other practices of agriculture. So in the some other practices of agriculture, so first one we have to look at about irrigation. So before we have discussed about we plow the soil, later we sow the soil, we sow seeds, and after we apply manure. Then after applying manure, then what is done? So every day we have to irrigate it. Irrigation means giving water, supplying water. Excuse me. So in a olden days, ancient days, they used to go with different methods like Duckley and Rahat, like different methods. But here in the traditional days and modern now, we are using bore wells, majorly bore wells, and directly we put the pump lines from canals to farmyard. This is one method. But basically how we irrigate the water, how we provide water for the plants. Basically, for some plants, they leave the land flat and they provide basin irrigation. First I'll go with a basin, then a furrow. Basin ante, for example, base should be flat. For which crops the base will be flat? For rice plants, wheat. So for the rice and wheat, even maize, for that the soil surface is flat. When you look at about vegetables, in vegetables, some people they leave it base, but some people they plow it like furrow, like this, gap between. Here the plant will be there. In between they pour water. So this is furrow irrigation method. And drip irrigation system, this is modern method. Drip, sprinkler, these all are the modern irrigation methods. Drip irrigation system one is, and one more, sprinkler. Sprinkler, drip. Sprinkle, how they irrigate, whether it's a furrow or drip, generally they pour water. If not, with the help of pipelines they give water. But now in a gardens, for these sprinkler, in gardens we know it, which have the nozzles. A tube for that nozzles will be present. When we switch on motor, the water rotates and it's sprinkled to the areas, to the plants. Majorly we find it in garden. And another one, drip irrigation system. Basically this is also possible now. So they connect with it pipelines, and where is a plant, there they put a hole. Where is a plant, there they put a hole. The water fall on the roots only. One drop of water. Got it? Then madam, that one drop of water, how it gives? But one drop of water is pure, completely utilized by the plant, and morning to evening continuation, if thoroughly the water is provided for a plant, it grows properly, as well as the production rate also increases. So by this way we provide water for the plants. So some of them have bore wells, from that they provide water. Some of them don't have the bore wells, they wait for rain. And some of them have ponds and lakes beside. With the pipelines they connect to farmyard. And next, when we start irrigation, then onwards we start get many problems like insects attack, pest attack, and along with that weeds start growing. So many pests, many insects and weeds start growing in our farm area. So basically, what pests are grown? Pests like green color one and different pests. For that, what are used to control pests? Basically, natural method we can use neem, chrysanthemum like chamanti akulu, or marigold, even panchagavya. Before I told you that panchagavya, these are used for pests, even to control insects. Insects are nothing but like mosquitoes. So here, as to control pesticides as a pest and insects, they make use of some chemicals here like DDT and Endrin, Aldrin, BHC, nothing but benzene, hexachloride, Aldrin, BHC, benzene hexachloride. These are of insecticides and pesticides. Then what about weedicides? Weedicides, for here we have two types of plants, monocotyledon, dicotyledon. Mono ante which are single cotyledon, di double cotyledon. Basically here the weedicides are used for dicotyledon plants, that too 2,4-D. 2,4-D is a chemical is used to control weeds and unwanted plants which are grown in between the plants. So by this way we can give water irrigation and pesticides, insecticides and weedicides for controlling of pests, insects and weeds. We use different. After this, the crops grow up to certain height. Then here we have a doubt, madam, then what are the unwanted plants are grown in between the crops? You know it, the parthenium is one of the weed which grows in between. Parthenium is one of the dangerous weed. It not only causes harm to the other plants, and basically weeds are grown, what will happen to other plants? Than actual plants, the weeds absorb more nutrients, so that the virginal plants' nutrients and also the production capacity decreases. This is a major point. And now Parthenium is one of the plant. Basically, when you inhale the pollen grains of that Parthenium, it causes respiratory problem, and if it is in environment, it causes many problem to other animals, and also it do not let other plant to grow, so that it be very loss for a farmer. And one more thing, amaranthus, we are eating totakura, that is also a weed actually. And other than that, chinta and some other, there are different some other plants are here which basically grow as weeds here. So what are they? Just we look at once and we continue. So basically, as per your textbook, here there are different weeds are present here. They are actually garika, vanja, varipilla gaddi, majorly grass here. Grass, Parthenium, Amaranthus, and one more Garika and Varpilla Gaddi, and some other are there here like Pulichinta, and these all are commonly, regularly we came to know, and Gunta Garagara. So these are the names which we find in our common languages. So those all are the weeds that cultivate, they grow in between the plants, and they absorb more amount of nutrients and cause damage to the other crops. So by this way, weeds cause damage. So that's what they remove the weed. The process is called weeding. So first what we did it, we prepared a soil, we plowed and we leveled the soil. Later leveling, we selected seeds and we sow it into the soil. And later we provide manure and we irrigate it, we provide water. When we start providing water, then onwards pests, insects, weeds start growing. So to control pests, weeds, we use different chemicals, and as well as we remove the weeds by a tool, with the plow also we can remove it, or by hand picking. And after that the plant grows up to certain height and it starts producing grains. And these grains, to extract, we follow a method called harvesting. What is the method? Harvesting. So basically, the time of harvesting, the plant crop, some people, they cut it. Like for example, wheat and rice, we cut half. And later, after harvesting, they do one more thing, is known threshing. Threshing is nothing but olden days they used the bullock carts. Now they are using tractors. Even nowadays they are directly take that grains to mill, and there itself the uppermost husk. Threshing is nothing but the removal of husk from a seed. Basically, if it is a seed, the seed has another coat, seed coat. It's called husk. Basically for rice, wheat, red gram, green gram, black gram, for Bengal gram, groundnut. Upon that we find some husk that is to be removed. So for that we have to thresh it. Sometimes, if you know, if might be know it or not, there near the villages, they put on the main roads, highways majorly. The villages which are beside highways, they pour all the grains on roads and they cover it with a turpentine cover or something. So because of that, when vehicles are moving on it, the grains thrushes. Threshing is nothing but if something heavy weight goes on that, the husk removes out from the grain. But if it happens on main roads, what happens? Sometimes the turpentines may be slip. The vehicles may flip over and causes many accidents. So that's the reason government took an initiation and started giving threshing machines to the farmers for threshing purpose. And later threshing, the husk which is separated from seed should be separated. Further they do winnowing. So they put a fan there and they take some grains and they do towards the wind. So when they are doing towards the wind, the husk goes off and grains fall down. So this process is called winnowing. What is that process called? Winnowing. They winnow it. After winnowing, they with a hand they pick out some rocks or anything may be present in that grain, and later they pack it in bags, gunny bags, and later the packed materials are transferred to and shifts to where it is godowns. To the godowns they shift it. So there they store it. If, for example, this threshing, winnowing for the rice, wheat, for that. Then what about vegetables and mirchi, cotton? They are plucked by hand picking. They hand pick it and they store it in cold storages. If dry grains, they store it in hot places, and like where sunlight, air properly available, they store it. And like godowns. If for example you look at mirchi, cotton, vegetables, where they store it, they store that in cold storages. So by this way the cultivation of crops takes place. But sometimes the time of storage, rats, cockroaches or some other animals, insects, they may cause damage to the grains. So until harvesting is one of the tasks. After harvesting, storage is another task. So if grains are not stored properly, then it leads damage to the total harvested material, and finally we won't get food proper. So even now, you don't think that only grains here, cereals, pulses, vegetables, and even onion, ginger, garlic, all these are also stored in storage, in godowns, and some are in cold storages, and later they sell it in the market. but sometimes however they work hard on it, they won't get proper rate for their crop. So just support farmers. What do we have to do? We have to support farmers, must and should. So again, starting onwards, we will continue. So look at your textbook once again. Here is a machine, modern harvester machine has come. This modern harvester machine, it works on everything, for plowing, for leveling, for harvesting, everything. So once again we will continue from our starting lesson. So what we have discussed in this lesson. So in this lesson we have discussed about different crops cultivated in India, and discussed about different crops cultivated in our state and district as well as in our village. So basically, what are the crops cultivated in our state or district anyway or in India? Majorly cultivated rice, wheat, and jowar, bajra, and ragi, millets, different types of millets, pulses, cereals, and vegetables, leafy vegetables, and coconut, tea, coffee, sugar, turmeric, chili, and cotton, jute, flax, hemp, and oil seeds like sunflower, groundnut, and palm. So these are cultivated in India, even in Telangana state also. In Telangana, except tea, coffee, remaining most everything is cultivated. So this crop cultivation takes place in two manners basically, based on the term period. So some of them take long term, some of them take short term. For long term ante like they take 180 days for complete harvesting. Until harvesting it takes 180 days. They are known long term crops. Which takes less than 100 days are called short term crops. And next we also have discussed based on the season. And for example, whether it is a rainy season, winter, summer. So based on that, again seasons are divided into three types like Kharif, Rabi. Got it? And Zaid crops. Zaid ante summer crops. And later we also have discussed about long night duration crops as well as short night duration crops. So in long night duration crops, what we basically discuss about it, long night duration for the flowering of a plant required more than 2.5 hours. In short duration crop, for flowering of a plant, it requires less than 2.5 hours. So based on that, we have to choose whether it should be Kharif or Rabi. So for basically long term crops, we discussed about jowar, maize, like. For short term crop, we discussed about wheat, chili, cotton. And some of the plants are there neutral. In any season, any night durations, they flower. So they are generally called neutral plants. Am I right? And later we also have discussed which country is topmost in production of food. That is Japan. Japan is in the highest production of rice. And second place goes to China. After that, India. So we have the greatest land, but even though we are not getting proper grains here. So the reason is technology, lagging of technology, maybe scarcity of water, maybe sometimes due to the land, problem of land also. And here the very important thing I forgot, farmers celebrate 3 celebrations. One is Eruvaka. Eruvaka is a festival which they celebrate the starting of the farming, to be giving a thanking to the all the sources which are present around, like air, water, everything. And the next festival is celebrated when they get grain to their hand, that is Pongal. And sometimes some crop get in the March, then they celebrate Akshaya Tritiya. So like there are different celebrations are celebrated by farmers. And next we also have discussed about different agricultural practices like preparing soil, sowing of seeds, applying manure, irrigation, watering, weeding, and crop harvesting and storage of crops. So how we prepare the soil? We plow the soil with the help of plow, and later we level it to crumble the lumps with the leveler, and later we select the seeds which are good weight and quality. And majorly in Rabi season, the crop which we grow it, that seeds they put aside specifically, because Rabi season grains are heavy weight and good quality seeds. So that's what. And that seeds they sow it in soil, and later they provide water for the crop. every day they provide water for it, and when they start watering, then onwards many insects, pests are attracted, and as well as it is affected by bacteria, fungi, and so on. Then to control bacteria, bactericide; for fungi, fungicide; and for virus, viricide; and as well as to control weeds, weedicide; to control pests, pesticide; to control insects, insecticides. Like different chemicals are utilized. But tell me, all those utilizing of chemicals good for the crop or not? No, it's not good. Then what is should be used? What should be used for controlling all those? Natural manure is very good for controlling that pests, insects, weeds, and all those. So weeds not only can be controlled by chemical, even we also can be picked up with our hand and can be cleared with the machines also. And later, after some days, the crop reaches up to certain height and flowers and become fruits, and that fruits be extracted, like vegetables, fruits, and like grains, cereals, pulses, all these, and that we harvest it with a harvester machine or by the hand by using of sickle. If not, if like tomato or potato, like some of the plants, we pluck it with our hand. Even chili, cotton, we pluck it with our hand. And based on the grain, some of them are put into a dry area like godans. Based on the vegetables and different types, they put in the cold storage. So by this way, a farmer works a lot from the morning to evening throughout their life. So give respect to the farmers and read this lesson properly. Anywhere if you get doubt, just give me a call. I'm ready to clarify your doubts. It's clear, students? So I hope our lesson is completed. So any doubts, just give me a call. I'll clarify your doubts. Have a nice day. Bye dear.